Welcome to English Medium. Let's learn and grow together. Subscribe for more fun lessons.
I was having a very bad mood today, but then all of a sudden this crow appeared and my mood got better. So, my dear children, have you ever felt that sometime when due to something you were in distress, you were very sad, but then all of a sudden something was there and then it changed your mood? Okay, so tell me in the comment box. जब आप बहुत ज़्यादा उदास थे किसी चीज़ को लेकर, फिर कुछ छोटा सा कुछ हुआ और बहुत छोटी सी बात थी, बट इट चेंज योर मूड फॉर बेटर. So today, beta, we are going to read a story where this crow is going to be the main character of the story, and it's a poem actually. So the story of the poem and where this crow is really a very significant character. Okay. Here is our poem, dear students, written by Robert Frost. Who's Robert Frost, by the way? Have you heard his name earlier? Robert Frost to hai beta. Okay, let us have some information about this Robert Frost. Who was he? So, beta, this is our poet, Robert Frost, and he was born in 1874 and then he died in 1963. And he was born in US, he died in US, means he was an American poet. Okay, now what else about him, beta? Okay, so Robert Lee Frost was his name. Robert Lee Frost. He was an American poet. We will not read a lot about Robert Frost, but yes, definitely we should know about the poet, that who was he and which nationality he belonged to. So, what did he do? He was an American poet, first of all. Then he is known for his realistic depictions of rural life. Okay, he has depicted, he has portrayed, he has shown rural life and his command of American colloquial speech. Colloquial speech means the language that is spoken in daily routine. Okay, conversational language. So he was very much skilled in this American colloquial speech, and he wrote about rural life. So these are important things about him. What are important things? He was, this is Robert Frost. First thing, you should identify him, you should know him. This is Robert Frost. Then second thing, he was American poet. Third thing, he depicted rural life, and then he was having command on this American colloquial speech. One more thing important about him, beta, he received 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. Okay, 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. This was his achievement, definitely. And he was also appointed United States Poet Laureate. Okay, so these are some of the things about Robert Frost. Now we will come back to the poem written by Robert Frost. So here we come again, beta. Dust of snow. Dust of snow. See, dust is such a word, beta. You know, if there is dust, so we call it dust. But when we do the cleaning of dust, even then we call it dusting. Okay, so dust of snow. Here, dust of snow means there is snow. Snowfall, you know. Okay, snowfall. And there is some snowfall somewhere. But what is the use of that crow and that snowfall in this poem and in the life of in that moment of life of the poet? Let us begin. First, we will read the poem, beta. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. The way a crow shook is the second form of shake. So the way a crow shook down on me. What did the crow do? The crow was sitting on a branch and he just dusted. He just uh, shook the snow from the tree branch. Okay, maybe he was doing some movement and he was just being happy, just enjoying making some movements, and because of that movement, some of the snow that was lying there on the branch of the tree, that sprinkled on the poet. Okay, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, and even the tree is not any ordinary tree. I will show you the hemlock tree, beta. This is hemlock tree, beta. This is hemlock flower. Okay, and this hemlock is intoxicating. Intoxicating, uh, intoxicating. This is poisonous, and this is kind of something intoxicating. Intoxicating means, beta, like alcohol is intoxicating. Okay, so something that can make you feel uh, that can make you feel like losing control of your mind. Okay, something like drug abuse, some kind of substance. So hemlock flower is that flower, hemlock tree is that tree. Okay, see, these are hemlocks. Okay, so this crow, the crow was perching on the hemlock tree. Okay, and it was making some movements, because of which the snow on the hemlock tree, it shook down, it fell on the poet. Okay, and what happened after that snow that got sprinkled on the poet has given my heart a change of mood. So probably the poet was in a very bad mood. Okay, उसका mood जो है upset था, अच्छे mood में नहीं था. But as soon as he had that snow on himself, as soon as he had that feeling of smeared by the snow, he got a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. Rue means, beta, rue is a verb. Okay, and what does it mean? It means to feel deep regret. किसी चीज के बारे में बहुत ज्यादा प्रायश्चित करना, पश्चाताप करना. ओके, और सौरो, दुख मनाना किसी चीज का. ओके, तो what does it mean? That it saved some part of a day I had rued, means the most part of the day was lost in deep regret, in sorrow. Means for most of the time during that day he was feeling sad, he was feeling very upset, he was feeling sorrowful. But now whatever day was left, that was saved by this action of the crow. It's such a small poem, beta, very small. But if you see the appeal of this poem, that is universal. It may happen anywhere. Okay, like wherever you are, you can be sad, and wherever you are, there can be some activity, some movement, some instance, and that instance, that activity can it can better your mood. Okay, so when you are very sad, sometimes you feel very sad, but all of a sudden something happens and you are just like, okay, leave it. Okay, now I will not regret for this thing. So it was that small incident which prompted the poet to write this poem, Dust of Snow. So I hope, beta, you could understand it. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. The crow, it was sitting on the hemlock tree. It was perching on the branch of hemlock tree, and it shook down on me that dust of snow. And this activity, it changed my mood for better, and it saved the remaining part of the day, because most of the part of that day had been spoiled by my sorrowful, by my sorrow, by my sadness, and I was just regretting. But now the rest, the remaining part of the day was saved by this activity of the crow. Okay, now glossary, beta. So hemlock I shown you the hemlock flower. Hemlock is a poisonous plant with small white flowers. Okay, you saw that. Rude means held in regret. Okay, so like you are feeling sorrowful about something. Now thinking about the poem, this poem presents a moment that seems simple. Okay, very simple, is it? Very simple, but has a larger significance. It has a larger significance, wide significance. Compare this other quotation from Robert Frost. Always, always a larger significance. A little thing touches a larger thing. Okay, beta. So very, very small things, very tiny things, they have a larger aspect, they have a larger impact. छोटी छोटी चीजों का बहुत बड़ा असर होता है ना. What is a dust of snow? What does the poet say has changed his mood? How has the poet's mood changed? Okay, beta. So this is your exercise, and okay, let us discuss it. Only three questions are there. So, what is a dust of snow? Dust of snow means the snow, like in the dust form, in powder form. That is dust, dust of snow. What does the poet say has changed his mood? So, what changed his mood? So, the way a crow shook down that snow from the hemlock tree, that changed his mood. How has the poet's mood changed? The poet's mood changed because there was a break from that sadness because of the activity of the crow. Okay, so there was a break. Otherwise, he was continuously in the loop of that sadness, but now there was something unusual, something different, and all of a sudden he noticed, okay, so there is snow on my head, and it is such a nice moment. Okay, and that changed his mood. Next is, how does Frost present nature in this poem? So how does Frost present nature in this poem? Nature is very beautiful. Okay, first thing, if you just imagine the crow sitting there and snowfall is there, snow is there on everything, so nature is beautiful. The following questions may help you to think of an answer. What are the birds that are usually named in poems? Okay, so this is your homework beta, this you will do. What are the birds? Okay, which other birds? For example, we have a poem on this crow. Okay, dust of snow. Then we have another poem, Birches by Ted Hughes. So birches are also the birds. Then which other birds are there? Like there is a poem, The Laburnum Tree, that has a bird, goldfinch. Okay, so which other poems are there which are on birds? Do you think a crow is often mentioned in poems? Okay, is it mentioned? Crow is less mentioned, beta, because crow most of the times it appears in horror stories. Okay, so in poems it is not uh, mentioned that much, but yes, definitely we do have this poem where crow is mentioned. What images come to your mind when you think of a crow? Okay, so this image comes to my mind when I think of a crow, that there is something bad is going to happen. The crows are the messengers of the spirits, and they appear in the horror stories. And what comes to your mind when you think of a crow? That you have to write. Again, what is a hemlock tree? So hemlock tree is, what is hemlock tree? Hemlock tree is a poisonous plant. And this one, yes, with small white flowers. Okay, it's a small plant, poisonous plant with white flowers. Why doesn't the poet write about a more beautiful tree such as a maple or an oak or a pine? Okay, when you think about this maple tree or oak tree or pine tree, they bring happy images in our mind. Okay, bright images, beautiful, full of happiness. But hemlock tree, it is kind of symbol of sadness. Okay, it is poisonous. So sadness is also poisonous. So maybe just to describe the mood of the poet, he is using this hemlock tree, not the happy ones like maple or oak or pine. Okay, so just to describe the mood of the poem, mood of the poet. What do the crow and hemlock represent, joy or sorrow? Crow, देखिए, although crow depicts very sorrowful mood, hemlock definitely reflects a sorrowful mood. But here, crow has been a messenger of positivity. It has been a messenger of light. Okay, so crow doesn't represent joy, but yes, definitely here it proves as a harbinger of, as a messenger of light, as a messenger of light, as a messenger of happiness. And hemlock, definitely it presents sad mood. What does the dust of snow that the crow shakes off a hemlock tree stand for? So, crow shaking off dust of snow from the hemlock tree, it stands for that happiness can come even from unusual places. Can come from strange incidents. Okay, so it is for that. Have there been times when you felt depressed or hopeless? Definitely, I believe you have. Witnessed many a times where you have been depressed or hopeless, where you felt that like no, it is very bad, and yes, something that you have felt very much sorrowful about. Have you experienced a similar moment that changed your mood that day? So beta, this is your homework, and you have to write about at least one incident that you were feeling very upset about something, but then something happened that made your day. And I will be very happy if this poem can be that ray of hope for you people. Maybe you are sitting in sad mood and then you watch my video and then you become happy. And definitely even John Keats says, okay, John Keats has been a poet in British literature. So he also says that the elements of nature, they bring happiness to us. And however bad is the time, however sorrowful is the time, but definitely there is a ray of hope from nature. And it may come in any form. It may be like it may be anything that belongs to nature. Even human beings belong to nature. So however sad you are, but nature definitely sends a ray of hope for you people. Okay, so maybe this video proves a ray of hope for you people and you feel happy after watching my video and reading this poem. So with this, beta, like, share, subscribe, and definitely share with your friends and spread happiness. Bye bye.